Hi everyone, this is Ben Songroth, and in this quick video we're going to do a brief introduction to Google Sites and how to create a Google site. So with the new Google Sites, the beautiful thing about it is that it's all created through Google Drive. So in order to create a Google site, you can start in your Google Drive and go up to New, and then down to More, and then over to the right, and you should see an extended menu that has Google Sites on it. So I'm going to select Google Sites, and I will populate my first site. So here we have our new Google Sites, and inside of this you have several different options. So my first suggestion is to always go up and title your site first, and then you can see that it will name your Google site here. If I'm making this page to say be a teacher landing page or a teacher page for my students to go and get information from, then you should name it as such. I'm just going to keep on the demo bandwagon here. You can see when you get this in, you can actually adjust your options in new Google Sites for fonts and sizes are not many, but you do have the ability to change it a little bit with these 5 different customizations. You can also align it if you want to, or you can make this also into a link or straight delete it if you so choose. But for our purposes, we're just going to do this. If you don't like the default background here, you do have the option over here to change the image and upload one from your drive and or select an image. You can also do a header type where it would be large like this, a banner, a smaller banner, or just possibly a title only. So for this purpose, we're going to leave it as banner. So now what we want to do is we want to add things to our Google site. So instead of complex website building and creation, really what this is just simply clicking and inserting over here from your insert menu, and this is the area that you're working with. So right now our site is not very big, it is only this window because we don't have anything in it. So the first thing I'd maybe want to do is add in a text box. So in order to do that, I just click in the insert menu here, I click text box. You can see I get a text box dropped in. And I can type it in, I can change the fonts, sizes if I so choose. I can do a lot of different things. Alignment, links, same options as we had up here, just down in this text box. I can also resize this. You can see you have your little dividers that show where that's going to size to. And then if I was to move it and align it, it would align within that text box. So that's how you add in the text. Next thing I would maybe want to do is include an image to the first part of my site. And to do that, I go over to the insert menu over here, click images, and then I would go ahead and select one. So this is going to actually bring up either something I can bring from a URL, a search from my albums. So I maybe drop this one in, select that, and now my image comes in. So you can see it dropped it and inserted it next to my text over here. If I wanted this to move, I can simply click on it, drag it, move it up so it corresponds with this one, or drop it down below. So you have all sorts of different options in regards to moving your site or your text around. So that's kind of something that's pretty neat with Google Sites, is it's not super complex with HTML or anything like that. You're just dragging and dropping it around. If you wanted to now create a layout page, so perhaps maybe this is not something that you want to just drag and drop, you actually have all these different layouts that you can choose from. So if I wanted to make something similar to this, I could have selected just the layout, and then I could have this text down here, inside of my my layout if I wanted to. So I could click to edit the title and then drop an image in, or any other thing. I could put a map, calendar, YouTube file, anything on the left hand side. So layouts are really nice to be able to adjust with that, so you don't have to kind of guess if you wanted to. I'm going to now go ahead and look at how I create a second page. So this is my first page here. I want to create a second page to my site. So to do that, I'm actually going to go up here to Pages, and then you see I have just the home page right now. So I'm going to add another page, go down here to the plus sign, say New Page. I'm going to name this very originally Page 2, hit Done, and now I have my second page. So you can see that now I have navigation up at the top. So I have the home page here that looks like this, and then I could go to Page 2. And then when I publish this site, those are also going to be viewable. So on this page, I want to now add some things. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to Insert. And this time I want to drop in something else. So I'm going to go down here, and I could always add something from Google Drive if I wanted to. So if I select Google Drive, it's actually going to search my Google Drive. So I can go in to find, let's say, a document or a video and add those things in. So if I wanted to maybe take this Google Doc here, I would hit it, I would click it, select insert, and now that document has been inserted in. Well, that's not like a great view of it. It would have a scroll-in window when I look at it, but I can always drag this down so I can see more of that, so that window will be larger for my viewers to be able to read more of the document without having to scroll inside of a separate window. So that's one way you can add a document. I'm going to go ahead and add a third page. So I'm going to click the plus sign at page 3. Done. Now I have a third page. So I wanted to show you real quick some of the other stuff that you can add to a Google site. So if I go up here to insert, you can see down here I have other ways other than just the 4 key pieces up here. I did not mention embed. This embed is pretty nice. You can actually put an embed code in. So if you have something you want to embed in your Google site, you can do that. But down here we have some other options. So a button would be the ability to put in a link that just looks like a button. So you probably notice these with like a checkout button or a click here next button. You can drop one of those in. Divider is going to break your page up with a nice line across the middle of it. Okay, we don't need that, so we're going to delete it. And then down here you can drop in your YouTube videos, calendars that you have. So like if I select calendar, you see all of my calendars populate here, and I could drop this one in, and then that calendar is going to display over here. So if you have like a homework calendar that you wanted to put in, you could do that. And then maps are pretty great. If you go in and you can look, you can enter in a specific location, or you can even do a My Map. So if you make a My Map in Google My Maps, you can select that and you can drop that map into your website as well. And then everything else is pretty straightforward, where you have docs, slides, sheets, forms, and charts. So those are all other core Google tools. So lastly, we want to look at some other navigation options. So for example, what I can do is if I wanted to make page 2, but then have pages come off of page 2, I might want to add a subpage to that. And I'm going to do that by clicking the 3 dots and saying add subpage. And what that's going to do, page 2.1, is it's going to now branch it down and off. So when this loads up here, you can see if I click on page 2, I'm going to have the ability to go to page 2.1. So if you're a teacher making a Google site, you might have something like US history and then period 1, period 2, period 3, and you could have them all separated out by pages. You can also drag and drop your pages. So like I have page 3 and maybe I want it to become a subpage of page 2. I could click on it, drag it, drop it. Now it's a subpage. If I want it to come back to life, I can drag it, put it underneath the home, and I want to put it out here, and now it's its own page again. So those are some ways to navigate. Lastly, the last 2 things I want to show you guys is if we want to collaborate with people on your Google site, you're going to go up here to share with others. And what this is going to do is this is going to be able to, just like you would share a Google Doc, you would share your Google site with those people, so that way they can go in and go ahead and have a chance to edit it. If you want to now publish your website, okay, so the first thing that you want to do now is you want to be able to now have people to be able to see your awesome website that you created. And this is key, because if you don't do this step, people won't be able to see it. So if you want to do it when you're ready to go, you can go here and click publish. And when you select publish, you have to pick your website address. And down here you can see it'll be sites.google.com/ and then your domain here. And then you would add in the next part here. So this would be Google demo site. So now if people wanted to get to it, oh, you can't use Google. I'm just going to use demo site. There we go. So now it would be, this would be the URL that I would send it to. And then you also want to make sure you check on who can view your site. Right now, only people inside my domain can see it. If this is something I wanted to share with parents, I would want to make sure I go into manage, and I would want to make sure I could click this change. Anyone can find and view the published version. Save, done, and then I hit publish. And when I do that, I've now created my first Google site. So that site is now live, and I can see it if I go up here to the preview button. This is what it will look like when people visit my site. Pretty slick. One of the other cool things about the preview button, just real quick, is when you are previewing it, you can go down here and you can see what it'll look like when you're looking at different views. So this is what it would look like on a tablet, and this is what it would look like on a phone. So this might change your mind on how you adjust some images just based on what the viewing experience would be like for your viewer. Okay, so that is a quick overview of Google Sites and how to make sites and publish sites. So I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions, please reach out. Ben Songroth at Mr_Songroth on Twitter and bsongroth at ltcillinois.org. Thanks for watching.